Hello there, and thank you so much for your time this afternoon. This is Citizen Live at 1. I am Lillian Muli Kanene. Now, former Lands Minister James Orengo is currently recording a statement at the CID headquarters here in Nairobi in connection with the illegal allocation of 500,000 acres of land in Lamu County. Our reporter Alex Kubasu joins us live on phone from location for the latest update. Alex Kubasu?
Yes, Lillian Muli in studio. Indeed, we are still standing by here at the CID headquarters along Kiambu Road. It is the second day that the former Lands Minister and the now Siaya Senator James Orengo, after he was summoned to come and answer to some of the questions regarding the illegal allocation of close to 500,000 acres of land in Lamu County. So yesterday he was here, but he was just handed the documentation and all the questions that were necessary. But today he appeared before the investigators to write a statement and to give his account of what really happened. And since the allocations are said to have happened during his tenure as lands minister in during the last regime of the former president Mwai Kibaki. So he's been in there for from around 9 a.m. in the morning, and it's been a long drawn exercise, but we are standing by. He's expected to speak to the press after he's finished writing the statement, and we shall be able to get his account, or from those that he is accompanied with. Since yesterday he came with a host of other code leaders, and we shall be expecting to hear from him as he gets out of the investigation room. So we are standing by, and we shall keep our viewers updated on the latest from the Lamu land illegal allocation that is still ongoing, or the investigation is still ongoing. Back to you, Lillian, in studio.
Thank you, Alex Kubasu. That's Alex Kubasu standing by at the CID headquarters as he awaits to hear what James Orengo will have to say to the press regarding the illegal allocation of land in Lamu. Of course, it is an investigation that is still ongoing, and Citizen TV will keep you updated on this developing story. Now, 13-year-old Corey Lawagat, who was shot during a confrontation between residents of Laisamis, Marsabit County, and the police, is recuperating at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Doctors performed a delicate operation last night to remove the shrapnel in his head.
The operation went on for slightly over 3 hours at the Kenyatta National Hospital. Doctors removed the shrapnel lodged in Corey Lawagat's head. They say the shooting crushed a section of his skull and are hopeful he would be discharged in a week's time. The shooting occurred on Saturday after 3 boys joined demonstrators demanding the release of a suspect arrested by police. According to the Inspector General of Police, David Kimayo, the officers were prompted to shoot when the demonstrators allegedly started shooting at them. One of the boys died Sunday night at a hospital in Meru from gunshot wounds sustained in the stomach. Police say investigations are ongoing to establish whether the officers used excessive force in the incident. Esther Kahumbe, Citizen Live at 1.
And over 500 pupils in Kipkali and Kericho County have embarked on a 15-kilometer walk in a bid to raise 3 million shillings for a 15-year-old Class 8 pupil suffering from kidney disease.
Joshua Kipngeno is a pupil here, but today he's not in school, for he lies in a hospital bed in the Moi Referral Hospital, Eldoret. Joshua is fighting for his young life after being diagnosed with kidney disease. Joshua's dream of sitting for his certificate of primary education examination this year hangs on a thread, and his friends have embarked on a mission to salvage that dream. Joshua needs 3 million shillings to settle his hospital bill and get a kidney transplant.
Kule Eldoret, madaktari wamesema yeye anahitajika kuwekwa ama kubadilishiwa vigo. Na hiyo ni karama kubwa. Wazazi wanahitaji milioni 3 ndio ikaramie huo uhamishaji ama kubadilishwa vigo.
The pupils of Kapsenda Primary Schools in Kipkelion, led by the headmaster Alphonse Cheruyot, have taken it upon themselves to raise the money by walking 15 kilometers, and they're determined to tour the country if they have to get Joshua back in school. Among them is his deskmate and friend, Jolene Chebet.
Tulikuwa tukikaa na Joshua amekuwa rafiki yangu. Nilijifunza mambo mengi na Joshua. Joshua alikuwa akinionyesha hesabu. Sisi kama wanafunzi tumejitolea ya kwamba tutatembea nchini kote tukiomba ya kwamba serikali aweze kutusaidia ili Joshua arudi shuleni tuendelee pamoja.
The pain of Joshua's 43-year-old mother Hannah Birgen, who has had sleepless night, is evident.
Hata ile kitu tulikuwa naye tumeuza yote. Ng'ombe hata hatuna ng'ombe. Tunaishi ploti hapa.
She says the amount is too much to raise.
Siku hiyo au ugonjwa mimi sichalala. Mimi huwa naombanga kila siku Mungu atusaidie, afungue njia apate pesa ya kutibu kijana yetu.
Hannah appeals to any well-wishers to help her son and hopefully end her sleepless nights. Martin Munene, Citizen Live at 1.
Gatundu North Member of Parliament Francis Kego Njenga now wants governors to explain how they spent the 30% county funds allocated to them by the central government before making demands for more allocation. Terming the push by governors for Pesa Mashinani as selfish and insincere, the legislator asked those pushing for a referendum to drop the drive and instead engage in serving Kenyans.
And I open it today.
In Kiambu, 30% of 8 billion would actually be over 2 billion. We are only 12 constituencies in Kiambu. So every constituency would get 150 million shillings. Let them tell us whether in Gatundu North or South or Githunguri or anywhere, whether they have given development worth 150 million. They have not. And so wale wanasema ati wanataka referendum juu shilingi ifike mashinani, hao wanaangalia matumbo zao.
And West Pokot County has embarked on a campaign aimed at curbing malaria cases in the county. The County Director of Health, Solomon Kokwo, says part of the campaign will include distribution of 300,000 mosquito nets and increasing access to health facilities in order to check against high mortality rates occasioned by malaria outbreak.
Dawa ikiletwa kama hii ya chusi ililetwa na saa hii imekamilika, imeisha yote. Kwa hivyo tuko na shida ya dawa, uhaba wa dawa inafika hapa. Kwa hivyo tunaomba kaunti yetu ipate kutuongezea dawa. Pia madaktari hapa ni wachache, ni wawili tu, mmoja akienda off kidogo, mwingine anasidiwa na kazi.
The only challenge has been the issue of human resource, which has been, I think it's something that we inherited from the previous government, and so it will take time. But I know within the next 5 years, if we were to follow what we indicate in the strategic plan, then we should come close to meeting the WHO requirements of staffing norms.
And the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission Vice Chairperson Irene Kano has urged county governments to establish structures and systems to address the challenges of accountability and poor governance in their counties. The EACC Vice Chair spoke in Nandi County, where she led a team of officials of the Anti-Graft Agency in kick-starting the Anti-Corruption Week.
Kupambana na ufisadi. Tuwapigie makofi, wako tayari kabisa. Speaking at the Nandi County headquarters, where the Commission launched the anti-corruption and sensitization campaign that will be rolled out throughout the 47 counties, Kano expressed concern that with devolved resources and internally generated wealth from counties, the risk of corruption intensifying was high. She called on public office holders and members of the public to uphold transparency and accountability.
If you look at adverts that are done within different counties, they follow different processes. Some will ask for vetting, others will not. And even if as you're recruiting, you should know that issues of skills, it should not be your relative really you're seeking to recruit.
The Anti-Corruption Week is aimed at stemming and dealing with the increased levels of corruption in county governments, given the ongoing implementation of devolution under Chapter 11 of the Constitution, which has seen massive resources channeled to counties. The Commission intimated that Nandi County ranks 20th in terms of bribery and called on leaders to reverse the trend.
That means public officers in Nandi County is ranking you number 20 on bribery demands. Wanaitisha Congo.
The Commission outlined its plan to run an advisory component with county governments to ensure the infusion of integrity in their policies and structures right from school-going children.
We will visit schools and just to tell them about not participating in anti-corruption matters or even the right and wrong of children.
A 33-year-old man who had publicly denounced poaching and earned himself reputation as a reformed poacher shocked many when he was caught with several wildlife trophies. John Kaimoy appeared before Senior Magistrate Samson Temo to face charges of being in possession of leopard skin and 2 elephant tusks. The case will be heard on the 23rd of September.
Na huyu askari mwenzako ambaye aliitwa because we want to go to the core of this problem. Hizi ni za wapi nazo? Unasema? Hizi zimetoka.
And the prosecution in the case against Deputy President and journalist Joshua Arap Sang at the Hague-based International Criminal Court continues to re-examine the 22nd witness in an attempt to have him bring out the possibility that Ruto could have held more than one political meeting in a day. Now, this comes after defense lawyers tore into evidence that Ruto held a meeting at his Sugoi home, bringing out video footage of Ruto at a political rally in Nairobi the same day prosecution claims he was in Sugoi. The 23rd is expected to take the stand afterwards.
Do you agree that the campaigning period prior to the 2007 elections was quite short? It was only a few weeks or a couple of months, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yes.
And would it be correct then that politicians who are hoping to get elected would have to make the most of the time available to campaign as widely as possible?
Yes.
And would it be common for politicians who are campaigning to visit more than one event on a day?
Yes.
Can you exclude the fact then that Mr. Ruto, dressed in those clothes, attended more than one event on that day?
It is possible.
Mr. Witness, did you ever see television or reports of Mr. Ruto arriving at political rallies by helicopter to much fanfare?
I had.
And 70 years is a lifetime for many of us, but for Vivian and Alice from Iowa, it wasn't too late to get married. Now in their 90s, together for more than 70 years, they tie the knot.
That's a long time. I met Vivian in Cedar Falls, and I didn't know that she didn't see me at all. And I became interested in her. She's very kind,
very sweet. And she would do anything for me, I think.
We pretended that we were not anything. We were just plain straight people and never let on that we cared for each other. And because we knew the feeling out there.
We knew that people wouldn't approve of us, so we just kept very quiet. We're very careful about what we did and what we said. And the hardest part was probably, as she said, when we had to be apart. And we had to go to our parents when it was holidays, and we wanted to be together on the holidays.
We did not talk to people or anything about the subject, and no one asked us either. But we thought they knew probably what was going on, and some were happy, some weren't. I guess at 90 now we don't have to worry about anyone saying anything to us or about us. And so I think that we'll be happy now till the end of our lives. Well, I guess it took this long to get married because we felt that everyone was against us, and we did not want to publicize it, and so we just kept it to ourselves.
Well, we've learned more about ourselves and how we are, and we feel that God has had a hand in all of this. And after the wedding, I think we probably love each other more than we ever have. We were married always in our hearts.
Interesting. And a Bagley family in Minnesota is thankful their daughter is alive after being attacked by her 2 family dogs. The family wants others to be aware of how dangerous a family pet can be. Ashley Bishop shares this family's story of those horrifying moments and the little girl's recovery.
Ever expect happened, seeing my daughter walk up the stairs covered in blood and just thought she was gone.
It was here in the Goodwin's yard where the 2 family dogs attacked their 6-year-old daughter.
Jessica and Brandon were painting their bathroom on August 29th when they heard a loud scream from their yard.
I was trying to yell for Daddy.
The Goodwins' 2-year-old German Shepherd and 1-year-old Boston Terrier were attacking Haley, one of their 5 children. Brandon ran out, kicked the dogs off, and found his daughter covered in blood from head to toe.
I mean, it was nothing that you'd clean off, you know, with a Kleenex or anything like that. She was drenched from head to toe with blood.
Haley had multiple cuts on her head, face, and stomach. She also received fractured ribs.
They chewed up my face.
The injuries were so bad she was life-flighted to Fargo to undergo plastic surgery and recovery.
I'm not sure what set off the dogs. I never would have had my kids playing outside if I would have known that they were going to harm their kids, their family.
Jessica wants other parents to be aware and not leave their children unattended with the family pet. It is now one regret they have.
We should have been out there with them.
You never leave their child unattended with their dog, no matter if you've had it for 2 years, for 5 years, or just got it.
The Goodwins say they will no longer have larger dogs around their family. And as for 6-year-old Haley, she will heal up in time. And she says she still loves dogs.
Because I think they're cute.
In Bagley, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
And we wish her a quick recovery. Now, a tiny patient has taken microsurgery to a new extreme. An Australian couple spent hundreds of dollars to save their pet goldfish named George. It was a delicate operation that you have to see to believe. Can't help but feel sorry for the little fish. And the Westgate terrorist guns finally fell silent last year. 67 lives had been lost and scores of others left nursing life-changing physical and emotional wounds. But like a phoenix rising from the ashes, the survivors refused to let the terrorists cripple their determination to lead meaningful lives. And today we celebrate 2 men who took the terrorists' bullets but remain unbowed in their pursuit for the things they love.
Ukichapa risasi hausikii uchungu. Sikusikia uchungu, nile tu nisikia tu nguvu zinanisha kwa mwilio tu. Lakini kuambia hata sijui nilichapa saa ngapi siwezi nikasema, lakini ile tu kusikia nguvu mwili tu nguvu zinaniishia.
Hata wakati nilishutiwa where I was, mimi ile maneno niambia Mungu tu, nimwambia please God save me because of my daughter and my wife.
Two men and their convergence at the Westgate rooftop, where a children's competition organized by East FM was taking place. One, a taxi driver, the other, an office assistant.
Kwa hiyo iliniuma sana, cause pale ilikuwa watoto wadogo walikuwa wameuawa, lakini ilikuwa inaniuma zaidi. Nilikuwa naona nikani mtoto wangu wenye alikuwa ameshikuzu wakati nilikuwa nimekaa singeweza kusimama, cause nikikaa nikiangalia hivi kunaona tu watoto wazee wamelala hivi wamekufa. Nilikuwa nasikia uchungu sana.
We took almost 1 hour 15 minutes before the first rescue came. Lakini saa hiyo still na breed. Sasa mimi nilikuwa na kiatu ya kamba. Nikatoa hii ya kwa sababu sasa hii ya mguu hii hata singeweza kutoa. Nikatoa hii ya mguu ili nikatoa kamba nikajifunga. Kwa sababu sasa wenye tulikuwa na hata ukijaribu kuambia mtu akufunge, kila mtu ameshtuka hakuna mwenye hata. Sasa mimi nikafunga at least.
They both know that their survival was a miracle. Omolo has since returned to work at East FM. Boniface Mwangi is still picking up the pieces. His leg has not fully recovered, but he is a man who knows the true meaning of a country unifying at a time of need.
Isipokuwa ni hizo hata sijui tungefanya fundraising ngapi ili hiyo pesa ito, but fortunately bill yote ya hospitali mimi sijailipishwa. Ilikuwa tu na sign, kila kitu naatediwa na the life is not so hata kama on the other side maybe ukiangalia kasa hii when nilikuwa nafanya kazi I cannot go back to the normal because still I have to be careful with it, but still I'm coping.
Inspired by a daughter who was only 3 days old when the Westgate attack occurred, Boniface knows that he must move on, and so he does every day, making his way to the place where he once eked a living.
Na kama mimi siwezi sema ati nimekuwa so much ati sijiwezi, ni ile tu sina ile springboard ya unaona. I have not been reduced to being a beggar. Isipokuwa sasa ni the circumstances that is forcing me.
The circumstances take him to this taxi bay where his friends offer him their cars to make a few trips when clients come calling.
Nikikuja wakati at least nimesikia kuna kakazi wanakuja wanapatia squad. Sasa nimepata squad. Sasa nataka kwenda airport nichukue mzungu. Kuna mzungu nachukua airport nimlete hapa nipate 2000 kwangu kitunguu nipate kitunguu ya nyumbani.
The Westgate Mall is undergoing reconstruction, and if hope has a face, it must be the face of these two men whose resilience was tested and confirmed by the Westgate attack. Returning to Westgate a year later, listening to the different narratives of the survivors, one sees the coming to life of the old adage that our victory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. And it is 5 days to the anniversary of the Westgate attack, and First Lady Margaret Kenyatta this morning led a memorial at the National Museum to remember those who lost their lives and meet some of the survivors of the attack. The First Lady has called on Kenyans to come together now more than ever. Our senior reporter Jackie Maribe is there and now joins us.
Indeed, Lillian, it has been quite an emotional morning here at the Nairobi National Museum as First Lady Margaret Kenyatta, as you rightfully put it, launched this memorial here. It is 5 days to the fact that we will be marking this anniversary of the Westgate attack. It happened on the 21st of this month a year ago, and we have been listening to stories of survivors all morning, Lillian. You know, it just moves you to tears as they recall what they went went through, as they recall, those 4 gunmen who came into that building and just opened fire on anyone and everyone. And some of the stories we have been hearing from them, Lillian, is that indeed there was a woman who was leading. Now, this brings to the fore some of the questions that are unanswered. The government is still yet to give its report. It's still yet to give its answers on what exactly happened at Westgate. It took 4 days to get everything back in order. We were there, we brought you comprehensive coverage, but now a year down the line, these survivors want to know what exactly happened. How did they lose their loved ones? Some of them say they still dream about the gunfire and the gunmen. Some of them say they can never really recover. We were able to report to you that we lost up to 67 people inside Westgate during the attacks. People were wounded in their hundreds, and therefore a year later questions still abound. But here, Lillian, at the National Museum, as the First Lady was listening to these survivors' recollection of what happened at Westgate, she was able to call on Kenyans to come together now more than ever. You will remember that when this happened, Kenyans actually demonstrated that we are one. Kenyans came together, they gave blood, they gave food, they gave any help in any way and form. And so these are the words of the First Lady, that now more than ever it is time to shame such terrorists. Westgate was it was described as one of the worst attacks of terrorism on this soil, and therefore she says that, you know, we need to shame these people by showing them that we can actually come together. But Lillian, also it brings questions on our intelligence agencies, the answers that Kenyans are still waiting for. And in our subsequent bulletins at 4 o'clock, 7 and 9 p.m. tonight, we will be able to break to you in detail exactly what the survivors were able to remember, what exactly they are feeling now, and what they hope the government will be able to assist them in order for them to at least get over that experience, Lillian.
Jackie Maribeth there, giving us an update on the latest as regards the Westgate anniversary, where the survivors are at emotionally right now as we speak, and indeed what the government's stand is on this matter a year later. Stay with Citizen Live at 1. I'll be